Hi, this is Asiamet with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Wednesday, the 16th of October, and a better look for the FTSE, rising 50-day moving average, the FTSE up 0.5%, and maybe this time with the RSI rebound off neutral 50 that we've had, we could break that resistance line there from May around 83.50 on an end-of-day close basis. Above that, obviously, the record highs beckon at 84.74 from memory intraday, and then if we're really lucky, 8700 by the end of next month, although obviously we have the cliff edge of a painful budget at the end of this month. But clearly the market looking for interest rates to tumble, given that they are more than 3% above inflation, something that is, I don't think it's ever happened before, and it's absolute madness as well. Moving on to the DAX, and here you can see that we've tipped back a bit after probing into record territory through 19,500, still got the top of the channel there. 20,200 as a potential target for the end of next month, and hoping that on any dips we won't go anything below 18,900, which is basically September resistance and early October support. Moving on to the Dow, and here the market actually got dangerously close to the top of that rising trend channel there, 43,500, but we've come back down with a key reversal to the downside, so maybe you have to be prepared for something lower than the old September peak there, 42,600, and we might have to settle for the market heading back to 41,900, the late September and early October support. Bearish divergence there as well, so a high for the Dow in the price window, but the RSI not going higher, so that could be a signal that we're a little bit tired, even though we were looking for this market to hit the top of the channel by the end of the month. Moving on to Bitcoin, which looks as though it may be going over the top finally after 6 months of getting blocked by that March resistance line there at 68,000. End of day close above 68,000, and we're looking for the record highs there, just shy of 74,000. And in terms of what we might or what might happen next, then we are looking for perhaps a move up to that resistance line projection there at 75,000 as an initial target, especially while we're above the 200-day moving average at 63,000. But ideally, we go through 68,000 now, and we don't have any sustained price action back below the September peak there around 66,500. Moving on to gold, and it's behaved, impeccably, but very well. We've got the RSI, well, we're in the aftermath of an RSI bounce off neutral 50, the last of many that we've had since July, and something which suggests that this market is still very much in bull mode. Resistance line projection target from June up to 2800, and we're looking for that by the end of next month, while we remain above the initial September resistance at 2620. Looking at the pound, and here you can see that the interest rate outlook taking its toll, where we were already failing at the rising 50-day line, 131.20, and below that looking for the floor of the channel there, 128.70 by the end of this month. RSI at 37, so still scope for more downside there on cable. Worth looking at crude oil as well, because it's been in a sort of strange range of late, and here bull trap through the 200-day line. We failed there several times, so it looks as though that is going to block this market. And below the 50-day moving average, I actually got the chance of heading down to the floor of that falling trend channel from December, as low as 64.60 by the end of this month. The RSI has also fallen below neutral 50, so not a good look there for crude at the moment. Moving on to the stocks, and starting off with Allergy Therapeutics. Here, the situation is that got a rising trend channel. We bounced off it. That's been in place since November. Gap through the 50-day line, and above that 4.45 pence, looking for the top of the channel there at 7.1 pence by the end of next month, especially if we get a decent end-of-day close above 5 pence today, the old or the recent October resistance. Asiamet is next, and performing rather well, given the way that we've had a fundraise here, breaking a falling wedge there at 0.75, and above that we were looking for an initial target there at 0.83, and eventually, if we can digest the latest news, up to 1.1 pence at the top of that broadening triangle from June by the end of next month. But the key here, staying above 0.75 pennies. On to Bezant, where the recent look at the shares seems to have done the trick. You can see that we've got the 50 and 200-day lines rising. Great news from Hope and Gorab today, and looking for the target there, 0.045 by the end of this month, or hopefully a bit sooner than that. Ideally, we stay on the right side of the gap floor at 0.032. Moving on to Cornage Metals, which has managed to deliver non-dilutive funding, and also rather interesting interview as well, with a new interviewer in the market. Here you can see that the initial target here was 9 pence, and basically above 7 pence. We're looking for that hopefully by the end of this month. Big picture target up to 13 pence, maybe by the end of next month, if we can get through that 200-day line properly. You can see that in the recent past, the 200-day line has been the block on progress. So hoping that this time with the funding news will be different. On to Corcel, which was another stock which was identified as an early bird situation. Here you can see that we've managed to get through the falling wedge, or the triangle, in the 50-day line there at 0.11. Above that, looking for 0.2 pence, and the top of a June broadening triangle by the end of next month. I looked at CloudCoCo on Sunday with a tentative message that it could be a riser, and obviously it's been 2x since then. The initial target there was 0.42, and now we're looking for the old support from, or the pre-April support there at 0.75 to be hit by the end of next month. Ideally, we stay above the old June resistance there at 0.36, whatever happens. Moving on to feedback, which is another jumping situation today. Here the sizzle, I suppose, is the NHS factor, and here looking for further progress after the gap off the lows, and at least while we're above the 50-day line at 49 pence, looking for the 200-day moving average initially at 73 pence. Best case up to 90 pence by the end of next month, which could be done. We've had similar jumps in February, March earlier this year. So the share, when it wants to move, it really can move. On to GeneDrive, which is also doing us proud. We've got nice consolidation here above the 50-day moving average and recent neckline resistance at 2.25 pence. The longer we stay above that, the initial target here 3.7 pence by the end of this month, and up to 5.8 pence. At the top, at that resistance line projection there from back in April. Gelion, or Gelion, is next, and here you can see that we bounced off the floor of a rising trend channel, and looking for the shares to deliver an end-of-day close through the 50-day moving average at 22 pence, and then head up to as high as 35 pence by the end of next month. Obviously, we want to stay above the floor of that channel. Finishing off with image scan, and here you can see that we've got a rising trend channel, top of the channel there at 4 pence, and looking for that by the end of this month, while we remain above recent support around the 3 pence area. That was the old resistance from last month. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.